Alright, hello, welcome. This will be another keyboard video for Casey over at Drummond. Let's get through our keyboard and let's get at it. So last time we were talking a little bit about Wood, our Alice in Chains song. Right, so we should have been practicing that little part we learned. Right, but I'll go over it again just to kind of reiterate, make sure we know. So we've got an F, we've got a B flat, and a C for our first chord. And we kind of want to hammer onto that C. So that's going from B flat. If it's a little bit easier right now, you can just play those chords together. But it'd be nice to get that little flourish. Alright, so our first note again, our first chord, F, B flat, and a C. So let's make sure we got that. I have on my left hand, I'm using my pinky on the F, and then I have my third finger, or my middle finger, my middle finger on the B flat, and then I have my thumb on the C. And then in my right hand, I'm using my thumb on the F, my middle finger on the B flat again, and my pinky on the C. So that's going to be our first chord, right? So then, what we're going to do next, we are going to go to our next chord. So we have a G flat or an F sharp. That's our black key right above an F. So a half step above F. Then we have a B flat and an E flat. So we've got G flat, B flat, and then an E flat to make up that second chord, right? So we do kind of like right? So again, I think we talked about this last time, but start with just the F with your left hand, and we want to be playing the chord in our right hand. So and that happens with like two little hits there, two rhythmic hits. And then we want to use that G flat as the root in our left hand and play the full chord with our right hand. So that full triad, both chords, full triads on our right hand. Right? And eventually we want to get it to be our full so we want to get that those full chords in both hands. Right? So we'll keep on practicing that, keep on practicing sort of the interaction between your left hand and how involved we can get that. And work on making that little hammer on there sound pretty cool. So continue to flesh that out. For that part, that section is our intro and our verse. So you're going to hear the guitar do that right away. You'll hear like. So what'll be nice here is we can kind of accent what the guitar does and get that same kind of flourish to it. Right? Yep. So continue to practice that. Then what we want to do next, so far we have our intro up top, then our verse, sort of our second part. Those are going to be the same things that we just learned. And then we want to go into our chorus, right? So our chorus, it's going to sound like that. Those are our two chords. So we have a B flat, and I'm going to make that a B flat minor. I've got a minor third there. It's important to kind of understand that the relationship between those two notes. So going from a B flat to a D flat, which is what our next note in the chord is going to be. So starting on a B flat and then we go to a D flat. It's important to kind of understand that that is the third note in our minor scale. So that's why we refer to that as our third. So you've heard us use that terminology before when we say like, oh, we're going to play the third of a chord, or when we're talking to our guitar players, maybe we'll say play a power chord. That's our first and that's our fifth. So what we're talking about here is we're going to use our third. So B flat, we go up to D flat, and then we want to add our fifth. So that makes up our triad. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that last note is an F natural. So we're going to land. So that's our chord. And again, understand we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what makes up our triad. So that's our first chord. So our next chord is going to be a G flat. And guess what? That sounds pretty major, right? So let's call it a G flat major. Right? So we've got a G flat, our first note, a B flat, and then again a D flat in there. So that relationship as well is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3. Right? And I know that sounds familiar. We all know that little progression. That's our major scale. So let's pick out the third note in that little sequence. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be a B flat. So going up from G flat, our first chord, G flat, B flat, D flat. First, third, fifth, right? So we have our two chords now. We've got. Now let's just add our rhythm. So our rhythm, I'm just going to play it with the roots. We're going to go B flat. So that's going to be our rhythm. So if it helps, start with just our first and our third. So you can play. It's going to sound a little bit different without our thirds in there, though. So that's our rhythm. Make sure we get that rhythm down. Yeah, so you can pick apart those chords. You could play just the fifth. Or you could play just the third. That helps you kind of get that comfortability. What we want to eventually get is to that moving nice and comfortably. So I'd say practice it a little bit slower. Practice just the roots, get that rhythm. Bum, 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 bum. Then start slowly adding in the chords that we just built, using our triads, using our knowledge of first, third, and fifth. And start to piece together the notes and the rhythm, and continue to practice that, continue to listen to it. So now we've got our intro and our verse, and then we've got as our chorus. So we've got two parts. This song is not super heavy in terms of the structure. There's not a lot of sections, nothing too crazy. So that's actually a good portion of the song that we now know, and should kind of be able, once we are able to kind of play together, we can take all this stuff we've learned in this time off, and we can add to it and play it together, and it's going to sound fantastic. All right? So continue to practice, work on Cut My Lip. My name is Jonas and Wood, and we will see you in the next video.